Assalamu alaikum students, and welcome to the new session. Today I am going to start a new session with a new chapter, the first chapter in geography, resources and development. Basically those who are joined in the class, they have already learned about this chapter. However, they can take as revision, and those who couldn't join, you can listen and try to understand. Alright, so let's talk about the resources and development. Basically, this chapter, resources and development, on the basis of chapter in 8th standard resources, which you had learned before, and the definition you learned that time, definition of a resource: everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our need is called a resource. This is a simple definition you learned in 8th standard. However, in 10th standard we have something more with it. So 3 conditions are given here. So let's see which 3 conditions are. So here, everything is available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable, can be termed as resource. So here about everything is available in our environment. So many different things are available in our environment, and we human beings, we utilize such things from environment, things which are available in our environment. And we means human beings utilize technology and institution. Human beings, we interact with nature through technology and institution, and we actually we transform natural the things available in nature into much valuable resource. So resources are function of human activities. Human beings themselves are essential components of resources, and we transform material available in our environment into resources, and even sometimes even much valuable resources, and utilize them. Suppose crude oil, mineral oil available in raw form, naturally available in raw form. We derive it from the nature, we extract various petroleum products like petrol, diesel and lubricating oil, and we utilize according to our need. We transform it into much valuable resources, right? So this is all about the resources, and we human are actually the essential component of it, and we are in the center. Now let's talk about the different types of resources. Basically here category is given on the basis of ownership, on the basis of exhaustibility, and on the basis of status of development. So let's discuss about classification of resources on this various basis. So let's talk about types of resources. The very first in types of resources on the basis of origin. Here there are 2 categories: biotic resources and abiotic resources. So in biotic resources which are obtained from biosphere and have life. Resources we obtain from biosphere and have life, because there are some elements in biosphere which are non-living. So resources we obtain from biosphere and have life, such as human beings, flora and fauna, fisheries, etc. are biotic resources. Next, the biotic resources. All those things which are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources. All the non-living things, rocks, minerals, metals, crude oil, water, all those are basically abiotic resources. So here category in on the basis of origin. Second, on the basis of exhaustibility. Here two categories are there: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. The resources which can be renewed or replenished by physical, chemical and mechanical process within the short period of time, such resources are called renewable resources. Example: solar energy, wind energy, water, forest, wildlife, etc. are renewable resources. Second, non-renewable resources. Certain resources which can be replenished or renewed, but such resources take millions of years to replenish. So, these occur when very long geographical time. Minerals and fossil fuels are examples of such resources. These resources take millions of years in their formation. Some of resources like metals, here further categories in non-renewable resources: recyclable and non-recyclable. Recyclable resources like minerals which can be recycled, means we can reuse them. Iron, once we make pipe or we make something from iron, but we can reuse it, right? Recycle. And some resources are non-recyclable resources like fossil fuel which can't be recycled. Once we burn, that means that's over. Coal, fossil fuel in mineral oil, or coal, mineral oil, once we make petrol, diesel and burn, that's it, done. It convert into ash and gases. Like coal, once we burn, it will convert into ash and gases and smoke, that's it, right? So this is about on the basis of exhaustibility. Next, on the basis of ownership. Resources can be classified on the basis of ownership. Here, individual resource, community resource, national resources and international resources. Individual resources means these are owned by privately individual. If you own or your family own land, house, if we have vehicle, smartphone, those are the private properties, right? So owned by the individual. Next, community owned resources. There are resources which are accessible to all the members of community, like in village grazing grounds, burial grounds, graveyard, cemetery, right? Owned by community. Village ponds, public park, picnic spots, playground, right? So such resources are owned by community, and all the members of the community, they can access such resources. Next, national resources. Technically, all the resources belonging to the nation belong to the nation. The country has legal power to acquire even private property for public good. You might have seen that roads, canals, railway being constructed on field, farms owned by some individual, but government acquires it. Urban development authorities get empowered by the government to acquire the land. All the minerals, water resources, forest, wildlife, land within the political boundaries and oceanic areas up to 12 nautical miles from the coast, termed as territorial water resources, belong to the nation. Next, the last one in the ownership, international resources. There are international institutions which are regulate some resources. Basically, such resources are owned by no one, but regulated by, managed by some international organizations. So the oceanic resources beyond 200 nautical miles of exclusive economic zone belong to open ocean, and no individual country can utilize without the permission, consent of such international organizations. So we'll hear about three categories on the basis of origin, on the basis of ownership, and one more category on the basis of status of development, which we shall discuss in the next session. Here, on the basis of on the basis of status of development, here we have four categories: potential resources, developed resources, stock and reserve. About them we shall discuss in the next session. Right? Thank you so much for watching video. See you soon.